The unsolved murder of Dorothy Jane Scott. In late 1979, Dorothy Jane Scott's life began to change in ways she could not explain. She was a quiet, responsible 32-year-old single mother living in Stanton, California. Dorothy did not drink, did not party, and did not date. She worked at a local business and lived with her aunt, doing everything she could to provide a stable life for her young son, Sean. Her parents lived nearby in Anaheim and often watched the boy while she worked. To everyone who knew her, Dorothy was steady, gentle, and cautious. But beneath that calm exterior, something terrifying had begun. It was something she revealed only to her parents. The phone calls started without warning. At first, Dorothy thought they might be wrong numbers. But the voice on the other end was not confused. It was deliberate. A man began calling her at home and at work, describing her daily routine with unnerving accuracy. He knew what she wore. He knew when she left the house. He knew who she spoke to. Sometimes his voice was calm, almost affectionate. Other times, it shifted into something distorted and violent. He told her he loved her. He told her he watched her every day. And he told her he would kill her. Dorothy confided in her parents that she recognized the voice, though she could not place it. That single detail would haunt investigators for decades. As the months passed, the calls escalated. One day, Dorothy found a dead rose placed on the windshield of her car. She began carrying pepper spray. She considered buying a gun. Still, she kept working, kept caring for her son, and tried to preserve a sense of normalcy while fearing that someone was watching her. By early 1980, Dorothy's stalker had become a constant presence in her life. He remained unseen and known only by his voice. She told coworkers she felt as though she were being followed. She told her parents she feared the man would make good on his threats. But she did not know who he was and she had no way to stop him. Everything came to a breaking point on May 28, 1980. That evening, Dorothy attended a staff meeting at work. During the meeting, one of her coworkers, Conrad Bostrom, developed a painful swelling on his arm that looked like an infected spider bite. Dorothy offered to drive him to the University of California, Irvine Medical Center. Another coworker, Pam Head, went with them. At the hospital, Dorothy waited with her coworkers until Conrad was treated and discharged around 11:30 that night. Pam later told investigators that Dorothy seemed calm throughout the evening. Before leaving, Dorothy changed from a black scarf into a white one, a detail Pam remembered clearly. When they were ready to go, Dorothy walked ahead to retrieve her car, a white 1973 Toyota station wagon. She planned to bring it around to the front entrance while Pam and Conrad waited outside. Instead, Dorothy's car came toward them with its high beams on. Pam and Conrad waved, thinking Dorothy was hurrying home to her son. But the car did not stop. It drove past them and disappeared into the night. That was the last time anyone saw Dorothy Jane Scott alive. At 4:30 the next morning on May 29, police found Dorothy's car burning in an alley in Santa Ana, about 10 miles from the hospital. The vehicle was empty. Dorothy was gone. There were no obvious signs of a struggle, no useful clues inside the car, and no witnesses who could say who had been driving. The fire may have destroyed evidence that remained in the vehicle. The investigation began immediately, but the trail was cold from the start. Dorothy had no known enemies. She was not dating anyone. She did not socialize much beyond work and family. The stalker's identity remained a complete mystery. Then the phone calls began again. In June 1980, Dorothy's mother, Vera Scott, received the first of many calls from the same anonymous man. His voice was calm, almost casual. He asked if Dorothy was home. Sometimes he said he had her. Other times he said he had killed her. The calls came nearly every Wednesday for 4 years. Police tried to trace the calls, but the man repeatedly hung up before the trace could complete. The calls came only when Vera was home alone. They were not reported to have come when Dorothy's father was present. On June 12, 1980, Pat Riley, an editor at the Orange County Register, received a call from a man claiming responsibility for Dorothy's murder. He said he killed her because he believed she had been cheating on him. But Dorothy was not dating anyone and had no known romantic relationships, leaving investigators without a clear explanation for the caller's claim. Years passed without answers. The calls continued. The investigation stalled. Dorothy's family still did not know whether she was alive or dead. Then on August 6, 1984, human remains were found. A construction worker discovered human bones in Anaheim Hills, scattered in brush off Santa Ana Canyon Road. Nearby were a turquoise ring and a watch stopped at 12:30 in the morning. The ring was Dorothy's. Dental records confirmed the remains belonged to her. The bones showed signs of charring, suggesting they had been burned, possibly years earlier. 8 days later, on August 14, 1984, Dorothy was officially declared dead. Then on August 22, 1984, the phone rang one final time. The same calm voice asked if Dorothy was home. Vera hung up. The call stopped forever. Police investigated several suspects, including Mike Butler, a local man with reported ties to Dorothy's workplace. He was considered a possible suspect, but no physical evidence ever linked him to the crime, and he died before investigators could pursue the case further. Other potential suspects were examined, but none could be conclusively tied to Dorothy's disappearance or death. To this day, the case remains open. Dorothy's killer has never been identified. The stalker was never caught. The motive was never proven. The person who made the calls was never publicly identified. Dorothy Jane Scott's story remains an unsolved true crime case marked by unanswered questions. A woman stalked for months, abducted after leaving a hospital and found years later in Anaheim Hills. A caller who contacted her family for years afterward. And a voice Dorothy reportedly recognized but could not name. The central question remains unanswered. Who is he?